Hello, Bob Woods. Welcome to
Hello.
Making and to the world. Welcome to Making Sales Social.
Welcome to Making Sales Social Live, as we share LinkedIn and social selling training, strategies, and tips that will have an immediate impact on your business. Join Bill McCormick, Bryn Tillman, and me, Bob Woods, every week. Making Sales Social Live. This is the recorded version of our weekly Making Sales Social Live show.
We are at the beginning of 2022 still, right? We're still in January. And, we're talking about all of the things that we need to do to prepare to make 2022 the best year ever yet. And one of them is refreshing our LinkedIn profile because a lot of us haven't looked at it in a while. Talk about why having a static profile might be a problem.
Yeah, so I mean, you always want to be up to date with the message that you're bringing to the people who are visiting your profile. And a lot of that has to do with not only what's in your banner, picture, covered story, and all the sections that we're going to be talking about. You just want to be current so that people know that you're, for lack of a better phrase, just still around, essentially. I mean, because there are a lot of times I go into people's profiles and I have to look at it and wonder when is the last time they've actually been on LinkedIn. So to have that profile refresh and really fresh and ready to go, it's almost like a produce section. I mean, they're always bringing out new stock, so everything looks good and looks scrumptious to eat and stuff like that. I think it's the same type of thing here, except for your LinkedIn profile. So that goes beyond the banner, your picture, your cover
Yeah,
story.
let's talk about each of those.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's start with the banner, right? Your LinkedIn banner. I look at this like a billboard. This is your digital real estate where
Yep.
you can update this with events that are coming up. We have occasionally this podcast we want the world to know about. So that's our banner. But if we have a launch of a new product, that becomes the image. It's a digital billboard. And I think it's really important that we update this based on what message we're trying to convey to our audience.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's really important for people to think of the banner as swappable, for lack of a better
That's a
term.
good
So I mean,
term. Yeah.
so you can have like one standard one that if you're not promoting something or whatever, you can have that up there as a standard. But if you have something coming up, get the information about that in there, especially because besides your photo, that's literally the very first thing that people see when they land on your profile. And being in real estate myself, once upon a time, I know that wasted real estate is bad real estate. So use
Ah,
that real estate
love
to
that.
your total and complete advantage, what we would call highest and best use. If there's any real estate people out there, they will know what I'm
That's
talking
great.
about.
And
And
consistent branding. We want to make
yes,
sure,
yes.
right, that it looks like your website, that you're using consistent fonts and colors and such. Let's go to the next one. Such an important one. We all know this. A professional picture. Take a look. If your hair is different, if you don't have as much hair as you do in your picture, if things have changed, right? Well, I mean, I look at some of my old pictures where my hair is really short, and I'm like, you know what? That's an older picture. It's time to update. So the goal really is that we look like, right? When people show up at our profile, and in today's world where we're jumping on Zoom, you want to make sure that you really look like that photo. Anything you want to
Exactly.
add to that?
Yes, I mean that literally. I did a profile makeover today, and that subject literally came up, and it's like you may want to do it. He looked pretty much the same, but it's like if you have an opportunity, you may want to do it. But if I look at it, I can tell that you're the same person. That being said, there are a lot of times when I go into a Zoom call, and it's like, oh, you look different, and you really don't want to be like that. You you really want to have what you look like as currently as
Yeah.
possible as your
Eye
profile does.
contact, important.
Eye contact
Smile.
is important. Sometimes straight on, sometimes you want to, do like a little news anchor type of thing. You can do
As
that
long
too.
as it's
But
eye contact,
as long as it's
right?
eye contact, yeah,
Mhm.
eye
I love it.
contact. for those of us
Yeah,
who don't
this
know.
is our 24/7 networking meeting.
Mhm.
These folks, and I don't remember the statistics. You used to quote this a long time ago, so it probably is even more now. But it was like 10 times more likely. Do you
I
remember
think it's
that?
up to like 22 times or something like that, and that's not 22%, it's 22 times more likely.
That someone
So
will engage with you and your
right.
profile if you've got a picture.
Right, because remember, your profile photo, along with your headline, shows up everywhere in LinkedIn where you're commenting.
Yeah, how often should you update your photo? Take a look at your photo. If you still look like that, it's fine. Right? It doesn't
Mhm.
You don't have to update it often unless you change. Now, for example, if you get a whole like you're wearing glasses, I have glasses. If you get new glasses and now you're showing up in the new glasses, I might change the photo.
I depends on how different they are.
Depends on how different they are, but I think that's a great question. The
Yes.
next one is the cover story. Now, this is a newer feature. Talk about the feature, the cover story feature, and why this is something we should refresh in 2022.
Yeah, so number 1, probably a lot of people out there don't even know what cover story is. So rather than a refresh, this might be their first proverbial take at it. So cover story is where you can upload up to a 30-second video clip of yourself or of some type of content. It should probably be yourself, but
Yeah.
there are so many creative ways to do it. But anyhow, getting back to the main point, it's about you talking about who you help, how you help them, the results you bring, and the services that you provide. That's kind of the way that
In
we
30
take it.
seconds.
In 30 seconds, yes, in 30 seconds, warm, personable, smiling, the whole shot, because this is your opportunity to communicate with someone in a way that text just can't. And I think it's a
100%.
fantastic feature, and LinkedIn is way under promoting it. If you do have a cover story, you may want to go back and look at it and just think to yourself, does this still promote who I am? Does this still promote everything that I just mentioned? Or maybe you want to update it for 2022, happy 2022, with the full knowledge that you're probably going to have to change it in about a month or two. So I
Yeah.
mean, and
Only
that's
do that
another
if you're
thing that you can
committed.
refresh. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. So I
Yeah.
mean, almost almost think of it as like a promotional video clip, only in terms of how often you want to refresh it. So just like your banner, you may want to address something specific in your cover story, but that may only last for a short time.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
just keep all this stuff in mind. You're kind of becoming a promotions person to a certain extent, but it's easy to promote
Well,
yourself, or it should be.
I'm going to pull back from the word
Yeah,
promotion, and
that's
I'm
fine.
going to say this is more like if you were at a BNI or a networking meeting and you had a 30-second
Yeah,
commercial.
yeah,
It's so they get to
yeah,
know who you are
yeah,
and
I get
connect
that.
with you. It's not full on promotion,
Right,
because I hate that. I don't want to start. I really want to be a resource, right? And so
right.
in that 30 seconds, although it is your 30-second pitch, so it is ish promotion, but I just
Yeah,
want them to connect with you as a person, as a human being, and get
yeah.
them curious enough to keep reading your profile. I love that.
Agreed 100%.
Featured section. Why is this important to update?
The feature section is that section within your profile to where you can bring in content from the from outside of LinkedIn, posts from within LinkedIn, and do it in a visual kind of way, because there should generally be a graphic attached to it. We call it a scroll stopper, because people, as they're scrolling through your profile, they're going to stop there because it is visual. So you need to have good quality, and in this case, specific case, updated, up to the minute content. So it's really easy to have older content in there that you haven't thought about updating. Well, it's 2022. It's probably time to go and look and see if there's new stuff that you can put in there that's not necessarily pitchy, but it's very educational, so that people learn about more of what you do and how you and your company can help them.
I love that. And you mentioned this, but I'm going to emphasize
Mhm.
you can actually connect one of your posts to the featured section. So if you
Absolutely.
have a post that's doing really well, you can even, if it's a poll or a blog post or a question or a quote image. You can connect that to your featured section, and your viewers will see how much engagement is there. So there's some credibility that goes to that as well. So I love
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
The about
Absolutely.
section. Should my about be about me and my experience and my mission and my passion?
I think we all know the answer to that, which would be no. It should be about talking to your audience, to the people who are coming to your profile to learn more about you. And this is way too broad of a definition, but essentially it's about how you and your company can help them. The about section is not about you, it's about them.
Yeah, I love that. I love the way you said that too. This is where we show up as a resource. I mean, the featured section, of course you do. But in here, if if we start with I have 27 years experience, they're bored. They're going to ho hum. I don't care about that yet. They might care about that. You have to earn the right for them to care about that. And the way that you do that is exactly what Bob said. Show up as a resource. Kind of little fast formula. What is the challenge that your buyer is facing right now? What are some vendor agnostic insights that you can add? Meaning there are tips that get them curious, thinking differently about their current situation, and going, you know what? I never thought of it that way. That's really interesting. That's something that we're not doing.
And also those tips should be something that they can implement on their own without reaching out to you. It shouldn't Those tips should not push directly to you, because otherwise you're just going to confuse people and they're going to see it as a pitch.
Great point. Right. So if it's I help people do this, then they
Mhm.
go with the pitch. But if it's you're actually helping them, now
Yeah.
you're a resource and you're going to draw them in,
Yeah.
right?
Stop talking about helping people and just help people.
Yes, and that's exactly, this is a great place to do that. If you're
Mhm.
That's awesome, right? So stop telling people how you help them and actually help them. I love that. Once we've done that, we could do a line or two about how we help them, right? We got to bridge it, and a call to action. That could be something as simple as, hey, if you're challenged with this or you're exploring this, I'm happy to have a conversation and provide additional insights, even if we never work together. And then make sure your phone number's there, your email's there, or a calendar link so that they can schedule. Otherwise, they'll leave and not know what to do. So I love
Absolutely.
this. We have two more to go. Okay, I'm going to skip ahead because I want to land with experience. And I'm going to say, talk about updating your skills.
So that skills section that you have there, and a lot of people don't know this. It's pretty heavily search engine optimized, or what we call SEO. So because of that, you want to list the skills that you have, that you honestly have, obviously, but at the same time, these skills should be the same types of skills that the audience that you're trying to attract, of your prospects or whatever you want to call them, are looking for. And one of the really interesting things about skills is that while LinkedIn will suggest certain skills for you, you can put in any skill that you want to in there. You don't have to go with
Right.
just LinkedIn's skills. So if you've got something so specific that I can't even think of it, but it's only something that your people in your industry would be involved, or would be searching for, put that sucker in.
So it's interesting. Jack Hubbard, hi. Jack just said great ideas on the featured section. I just did a training this morning and used Jack as an example on the skills section. So the skills section, he has all of the skills that he brings to the table, which are many. And when I bring up his profile, occasionally you'll see his face and three others, and it says, "Is Jack good at banking?" And I'm going to say, yes, Jack is amazing at banking, right? So those
Mhm.
skills also will trigger what LinkedIn is going to ask you if you're good at. So Jack, I endorsed you for that today in a live training. We also have, let's see what we have before we go on, updating mine while I watch. I love that. So we have
That's great.
Sarah is updating her features right now. Michelle, in my featured section, you will find help on how to use LinkedIn. So if
That's
that's what you
perfect.
do, that's
That
great.
is a perfect example of the types of content that should be in there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
love that. Love that. So, our last one that we're going to talk about is experience. Now, I just want to start with this for a moment because over the years, Bob, you and I have been working, I don't know, a dozen years now, a long time. We've been together a very long time.
Forever and
Maybe,
a day.
no, I think maybe 8 years. I think we're
8 years.
probably,
Yeah, it's been
I think
about
we're
8
at
years.
8
Yep.
years. I added four for good luck. Um, no, so we've been and we have morphed the experience section over time. And where we are today, and by the way, Bob does 99% of the makeovers for our company. So I should default to him on this, but I want to talk about it for a second. And we talk about this as we kind of update the way we look at things. But LinkedIn about 3 or 4 years ago created this thread. So if you were a teller and then a branch manager and then a commercial lender, your jobs are now threaded together under one company page, right? So we decided we're going to update this whole section and leverage it in a way that can really help us. So this is where I want you guys to think about updating your profile and refreshing your profile. So if you have, I am a LinkedIn trainer as your primary role, but you are, or you're the CEO of your company and you tell your story and you connect emotionally. Instead of saying, maybe I never had another job at the company, you can still leverage those past experience features, but you can do this by highlighting solutions like keynote speaker, coach, trainer, or you can industries you serve. So for Jack, it would be banks, credit unions potentially, right? Because that's who he serves. So I want you guys to go out there and think about what are either the solutions I provide or the industries that I serve, and start to update your profile in a way that not only tells a better story about how you can help them, but it also helps your search engine optimization because your title is one of the most indexed sections in LinkedIn, even from Google.
So I think probably if you're still kind of wondering, I'm not sure what they're talking about. Go to Bryn Tillman's profile on LinkedIn or my Bob Woods profile on LinkedIn. You'll see that we're actually taking advantage a little bit of just how LinkedIn formats it as well, because it's almost going to look like bullet points underneath your main section there too, which I think is really cool. So, it's going to be bullet point, industry finance, industry banking, or, whatever, essentially. So, just from a visual standpoint, all of this is going to tie together so that the people who are visiting your profile, your prospects, will look down there and know, hey, I'm one of the people that this person is speaking to.
Absolutely. And Marcy asked, how do I add a job and your own business in your experience section? So you can actually have simultaneous experiences. So I am the CEO of Social Sales Link, but I'm also the EVP of Social Selling at St. Meyer and Hubbard. Both are listed on my profile. So I have my own business and my other role with St. Meyer and Hubbard. So take a look at my profile, Marcy. See how I have that listed, and you can certainly reach out to me if you have more questions.
And actually, the same thing for you too, Cassandra, because this is definitely a more visual thing. That once you heard what we've spoken about and you actually see how it's done, I hopefully that will connect in your mind and go, oh yeah, I see what they're talking about now.
Yeah. Hi, Cassandra. So Cassandra didn't quite understand the thread. What I would say, first of all, you can certainly reach out, but if you look at Bob's profile experience, you'll see it'll say CMO, and then you'll scroll down and it might say makeover specialist, and then you go down, it might say coach. I'm not sure what his says. That's probably, and there's a line where it's all connected. So I would say go take a look at that. It's a huge opportunity to get your message out. So thank you, guys. This was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed this. And Bob, as always, I love going live with you.
Same here.
And we'll
Why we
see
do it.
you Yay! And we'll see you all next week.
Thanks, everyone.
And
Have a great day.
When you're
Bye-bye.
out and about, don't forget to make your sales social.
Don't miss an episode. Visit socialsaleslink.com/podcast. Leave a review down below. Tell us what you think, what you learned, and what you want to hear from us next. Register for free resources at linkedinlibrary.com. You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and Google Play. Visit our website, socialsaleslink.com, for more information.